Welcome to our channel, everybody. This is Create Your Future, where we talk about law of assumption. My name is Caroline, and if you want one-on-one coaching, I am available. You will find everything that you need in the box below. There's the description. Also, you will find a list of wonderful affirmation tracks and a list of pre-recorded hypnosis tracks. These are on sale for 50%. You will have to use a coupon code, SAVE50. So the description will take you to our website. As for me, I have a traditional background in marriage and family therapy, but don't let this fool you. I have been playing my entire life with speaking your words into reality. As I grew up with my grandmother who taught me about mental diet. She was into it. So I lived with that. Other than that, I am certified in hypnotherapy, NLP, EFT, and as a law of assumption and attraction life coach, among other things. So today, guys, I have for you a, let me see here. Hold on one second. The joy of technology. I have for you a very video about a success story, an SP story. For those of you who are new, SP stands for specific person. And this is the story of a client who met her SP, who had a fling with her SP in her early 20s. So it was a hot and heavy summer. They hook up, they spend, 3 months together. It was very fun, great connection. And then it was over because they were young and they moved different cities to study. Moving forward 30 years, they both had a life, children, whatever. And here we are. New chapter, divorce, separated. They were both available and somehow they bumped into each other and they reconnected. So my client, she's the woman in the story, was ecstatic. She reconnected with him and she thought, oh my God, maybe he's the one. That's that could be my final chapter. That because she knew they had a great connection back in the day, and she felt it again this time around. Great conversation, still some feeling that chemistry that was there, and the physical. So she was extremely excited, very happy. So they met a few times. Everything was fireworks, let's say, very well. And then boom, the frustration kicked in. That's where the video might resonate for some of the viewers. And maybe that's why you tuned in. Why are we here? Why do we want to manifest something? Okay, specific person. Why do we want to manifest this person? And why are we frustrated? What is this block? What is going on? We connected with the guy or the girl, right? It goes both ways. I'm taking this example because now we're talking about my client who happened to be a woman. The frustration came that she had high hopes in the sense that the moment she started to share with him a few moments, a few hours here and there of physicality, let's say, being hot and heavy, she projected herself in the future thinking, okay, now we can build something together. And she started to imagine what it could be. However, for some reason, her 3D reality was showing her something completely different. And that reality was super frustrating. She was not feeling valued whatsoever. She was feeling that she did not exist in his eyes. she was not being really noticed or important. Meaning, okay, unless she was texting him, unless she was calling him, he was not doing any of that. So she would call him. They would come up with a time and a day where he would come over, and he would come over for 2-3 hours. They would have their fun, and then boom, he would leave. And now it was Saturday night, let's say. And then what? He was out with his friends having fun, and she was home alone. And she did not understand that. Why couldn't she go with him? She did not understand why she was not invited. She did not understand why they did not spend the rest of the evening together. She did not understand why he just came over, had their fun, and then boom. You see what I mean? So really, she felt that she was being used in a sense. She felt that, yeah, she had no value, that she was nothing. So she ended up by out of that place of feeling like she meant nothing to him. She sent some messages, but understand that when she sent those messages, she came from a place where she completely felt rejected. She felt that he was not interested in her, that unless she made a move, there was nothing coming from him. So there was no value. She was not a priority. She was a friend with benefits. That was her conclusion. That's what she was verbalizing it to me. So over and over through the course of, I don't know, I guess this game lasted 2 months. During those 2 months, I heard I'm nothing but a friend with benefits over and over and over. So that's the story that ran through her mind. And that's important, because whatever story you ran through your mind, even though you say, well, that's not a story, that's my truth, that's what's going on. Look, he's not here, he's not calling me, he's not taking me out to dinner, he's going out with his friends, but he's not inviting me. So what am I? I am just a friend with benefit. That's all I am. That's what he's using me for. So you see what I'm saying? So she was validating her 3D and making that the reality. And that, my friends, is a mistake. You don't do that. You do not look at the 3D and decide this is what this is, and therefore I put a label on me and decide this is my identity. No, you do the other way around. But we'll get to this a little later on in the video. So let's continue. So she decided to confront him, but not directly, through messages. And again, you know, when you send a message, what energy do you send that message from and with? What energy is inside of you, meaning what identity do you embody when you send that message? So clearly, when she sent that message, it was the energy, I'm rejected, I'm not value, I'm not his priority, I'm not the one who he will have the next chapter of his life with, I'm not his final destination, right? It was the energy, the embodiment of, I'm just a person he plays with. I'm the friends with benefit. Therefore, she sent a message which was seriously passive aggressive, and his response was clearly, he actually wrote it, and she showed me a screenshot and sent it to me. I'm not interested in a relationship right now. So that was it. So she put an end to it. And at that point, she broke up with him. She sent another message. She said, well, in that case, I am breaking up with him. And that was quite interesting because there was nothing to break up with, because in the first, they were not in a relationship. But in her mind, she wanted to be in a relationship. So she saw it as a relationship. So she decided to break up. And it was not such a bad idea, because the persona of her, the identity that was the one that was the friend with benefit one, the one who was rejected, that's the one who was breaking up with him. And she said, okay, I'm breaking up. And she ended this and sent it, and he never responded. I'm sure he did not even understand what she was saying, because he's like, probably what is she saying? We're not even in a relationship. And at that point, he went on a trip in Asia for 3 weeks. And even upon his return, he did not even contacted her. So they were in no contact for another few months. She completely let it go and decided to just have fun. Focus on herself and laugh and just have a good time. Not think of relationship, not think of, out there, this outside world. Just regroup, go back within, refocus, taking care of herself, and just laugh and have a good time. And she did a marvelous job at it. She did not cry. She did not complain. She did not mob, was thinking about the past or this always happened to me. No, none of that. She just focused on enjoying pretty much day by day and just feeling good. And she kind of surprised me because she did it quite fast. And she did really good. With that, we go down now another 3.5 months. She bumps into him. And it was a complete different person. Different, like his aura, his face was completely different. And he was looking at her and he was trying to get in touch. And she kind of brushed it off and politely said hello, but walked away. Sure enough, she gets a text trying to be polite. How are you? Blah, blah, blah. And she responded politely, but again, brushed it off, didn't get too close. So he kept on going. Now he's chasing her. Now he's the one going after her. Now she put herself, not that she was saying I'm on a pedestal, but when she turned all the energy towards her, valuing herself, taking care of herself, putting herself first, making sure that she was having a good time and taking care of herself. Now, that's what he was reflecting. Now, he was valuing her. He was noticing her. He was recognizing her. He was seeing her energy. He was seeing how suddenly beautiful and radiant she was. So he was going after her. So he insisted. So he invited her. And next time, because all the previous times, the meetings were at her house. She was inviting. This time, for the first time, he invited her at his place. And she politely declined. He came back, insisted. After 3 or 4 messages, and that was over a few days, he continued. And then finally, she goes, okay, fine, I'll come for a couple drinks. That's it. Just maybe not even the drinks, maybe just to chat. I don't know. But we talked about it. So she really did not intend to, she was going, but she did not want to go. She was kind of going because he insisted so much. Turns out that they had the most amazing time. because they had an in-depth conversation and went over everything that happened, and they got to discuss what was in each other's, mind at the time and their feelings. And what was super interesting is that her assumptions of what he was thinking back 6 months prior was completely different from what he was saying now. However, realize that her energy, I keep on saying energy, but it's really her identity, that what she embodies now is also completely different from who she was 6 months ago, right? 6 months ago, she did not have the confidence. 6 months ago, she was not this person who felt sure of herself, felt beautiful, felt like she was worth something, worth it, right? She was pretty much entering the field already as defeated. And on top of that, he absolutely denies ever writing the text that wanted nothing but the physical. Remember when he said he only wanted to be friends with benefits, that he wanted nothing else but that? He said he never wrote that. And she said, well, you did. I had the text. So there's many things happening here. What happens is that circumstances do not matter. So whatever you hear in the past is not affecting right now. It's not because you heard it in the past that it means that you condemn today. All right? No, because every moment are independent from each other, first of all, and also because we keep on telling you that at each moment it's a reset moment, right? At each moment you have a new thought, and thoughts create. So that's also part of what we call revision. So when you revise, we say, okay, revise the past. The past continues to be the same past because you think about the past the same way. You say, oh, I remember exactly what happened. Yes, you remember because you replay the same story over and over that occurred, but it's just because you're replaying it right now, nothing else. You could be replaying right now a brand new story, and then the past can be different, just as in that story that I'm telling you right now, by her embodying a brand new persona and reflecting now him showing up as a very different person, the past is showing up as something that never occurred because she shifted in this different parallel reality where this reality did not occur. Does that make sense? I think the way I'm explaining is not really clear. I'm explaining different concepts here. Okay. When you revise, you are replaying in your mind the same story. Therefore, you are sticking to one scenario, which you don't have to. If you decide that the past happened differently, then you change the past. But it doesn't matter because the past really doesn't exist. There is no past, right? Now, if someone says, it doesn't remember, like he said, I never said that. That's also because things happen simultaneously in different parallel realities. So when you shift your energy, you shift also the storyline. So when she shifted from being the person, the identity of, from being, the friends with benefit, or the one who's rejected, to the one who's chosen, to the one who is valued, to the one who's respected, then also the whole storyline changes, because now we're not in the same storyline. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to clarify this. I can make more videos on the topic. But all this to say that now they are in a relationship and it's going well, very well. And the lines of communication are very fluid right now. They meet all the time. The text, sometimes it's her initiating, sometimes it's him. The invitations go both ways, and it's really nice to see that it's a relationship that's well balanced. It's not only one person making the plans, it goes both ways, and it's exactly what she wanted. And that she created it by turning the energy inwards and putting, that self-love towards her, and putting herself first by saying, no, I am not being rejected. This is who I am. This is what I choose to do. How can I make myself happy? And during the time when he went away on that trip, when her old self broke up with him, that's what she spent her time doing. She spent that time on her, making the things that made her happy before anything else. Look at that, guys. I got this beautiful, I'm not going to advertise for anybody, but blue drink. Isn't that a nice color? I thought it was such a pretty color. So anyways, being energized with my blue drink today. So yeah, I would like to have you think about what makes you feel good and what makes you happy. And when you do that, when you don't compromise yourself, and you spend the time to really think about it and feel about it, then you identify as this person, embody this energy, then you can see everything unfold the way you want it to. And you don't even have to lift a finger. Things just happen, just like for her. She didn't do, as a matter of fact, she did not do any affirmation about him. She just knew that she was being fulfilled and satisfied. And somehow the man walks back into her life. So there are two ways of doing this. You can say affirmations that he would come back, or that not even that he'd come back, that you are happily together. Yes, that's one way to do it. Or you can just say that you are completely fulfilled and satisfied. And if being in a good relationship is one way to feel fulfilled and satisfied, then that's the manifestation that you're going to get, right? It all depends on the clarity that you have within yourself. All right, guys, I hope I was clear. Let me know if there are any other topics you want me to touch on. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And until next time, bye.